Oh, hello. We're streaming apparently already. Oh shit. How did I break Brood War? It's never happened before. Oh wait, I didn't break it. Something just broke, that's all. Something's weird though, okay. Now we're back. Looks good. Got a lot of TVZ. This is Royal. Ah yeah. TVZ Rush Tube. Against Sue. Sue against The Rock. Sue against Motive. Sue against Light. Oh. A few very interesting ones. Let's do some Sue games. Okay. It's gonna be a Brood War again tonight, everybody. I hope you can enjoy. Starting with a little bit delay, but rest assured we'll at least end earlier for this matter. So yeah. Be sure to try and do this. Watch this, because I don't even know what I'm talking right now. Got 1,000 things going on right now. But trying to calm down, trying to watch some good StarCraft. And that's exactly what we're gonna do here. Oh fuck, I need to actually... Okay, so it's... This is... Speed tube or rush tube? Not last replay. This one, right? It is... Rush tube. It's a rush. It's rush. Rush for his YouTube channel against Sue. Okay, so it's Rush, yeah. I was actually thinking of making this... Oh, no. This is not the right thing. I'm not gonna do it now, I guess. I'm gonna do it for the next stream. Thinking of replacing the names properly. I'm kind of breaking the game right now. I'm not sure what's going on. So I just need to figure out. I guess I'll do it after the stream, so figure something out there. Put like a screenshot, an overlay, and then yeah. That should be fine. I think I got an idea how to fix this. Okay, but not for this stream. I'm gonna do it for the next stream. For now, let's just go head into the game here. We are on Lee. I can't pronounce the name, the map. I don't remember the name. It's something with Lee. And we've got Rush in the north here, and in the bottom we have Sue. Sue, the StarCraft 2 world champion, actually. Took him a while to get there, but he did it eventually. And of course, Rush is one of the strong ASL Terrans. Basically one of the 3 to 4 Terrans who really picked up the pace after Flash went into kind of his, what is it called? His crypto jail, I guess, and his kind of a little bit of a retirement, his big break, his wrist issues, injuries, recovery. Like a lot of things happened for him. I think he went into hiding for like 4 to 5 years or something, so for a long time. But I think he's at least back playing. I haven't watched the most recent ASLs. Really long time, man. Looking forward to get those unlocked soon. And yeah. Rush definitely has been a good performer in the new area of Brood War. Him and Royal really have been picking up a lot of pace. Been doing extremely well. So Rush will go into a wall here. Will wall in this main base. Of course, this map, let's talk about a... Oh, by the way, he did go for an engineering bay block here. And it has quite a lot of health. So Su pulled 6 drones to deal with this. And he only had 6 working at home. So that's half of his economy, not... That's a lot of income that's missing there. Some nice gliding shots here on the drone. Oh. Oh, he's gonna get it. Nice moving shots there. That's really good micro. So let's talk about a distinct feature of this map. We do have 2 geysers in the main. For this matchup, let's specifically talk about this. We will get a 3 gas setup on 2 bases. But if you take a look at the actual numbers, the values, the numeric values, it's 3000 and 3000 equals to 6000, and then you have a 4000 gas, Vespene gas on the natural. If you add that all up, it goes down to 10,000. So it would be efficiently or effectively a 2 base gas like value. But the pace, the income, the speed at what it has been gathered, the gathering speed is going to be way faster. But maybe it doesn't even matter because we do have a bunker rush here right now. Already having a drone in position is going to be quite helpful. And there is of course that proxied factory. So Rush is going full 1 base here. Just gotta say screw that wall. He does see that SCV, I wonder why he didn't try to go for the SCV and kept shooting at the bunker. He did not place a sunken as of yet. He's gonna try to go for the Marine. If he can get the Marine, he loses the first drone though. He loses the second. Oh my god, 1 HP, that's the regen here. So he keeps 2 drones back to try and block for that other one. He's gonna try to kill that second Marine coming in. The SCV could go and try to build that bunker. But remember, there is gonna be that vulture. He really needs that. Oh yeah, there's the vulture. He really needs that. That's, yeah, creep colony. And that's sunken basically. Otherwise, it's gonna be a mess against the vultures because he only has links. If he can catch the vulture with the drones, oh! No, try to go for it. You need to go with a worker mining commander back, I guess. Try to do it normally. He did not really lose any drones yet, except for that one. Lose the second one. He kills the SCV, and he kills a vulture. So he focuses on the vulture. But the bunker is still there. Now what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go into a... He's going into speed, so he's not throwing down any additional tech as of yet. There's not gonna be a Hydra Den or something to try and bust this. He's gonna bust this with speed links. And there's of course no add-on here, so we don't see any vulture speed or mines. And Vulture's shooting up a ramp is not the greatest thing in the world, honestly. He's trying to go in there, but yeah. Su's just on full-on production, and he is finally adding in that hydraulics den. If he can catch some of these Vultures, that would be amazing. He is coming out with the speed links. I think speed is done, and that means these links are quite fast. If he can keep that base alive, oh my god, he kills most of them, but in the end, it's all of his links are dead, and it's the same situation as before. He has 1 link across the map. But there's gonna be a wall on the other side. There's a science facility already on the way. This is an all-in, but it's not like he doesn't do anything behind this. Now another wave of speed links is gonna try and kill the vulture. He really needs to kill that bunker as well, and he will bust the bunker. He will bust the bunker, I guess. He will kill 1 vulture, bust the bunker, kill the Marines. So the base is gonna be safe. I think this is actually okay for Su. The issue is though, like one thing that is not great, I think, for speed right now. Wait, did he have... Oh, he has a Wraith. Oh, okay, so he sees what's up. He sees the Hydras. The Wraith did get 2 kills. I think that must have been Overlords. There's gonna be 1 more Overlord across the map that's gonna be killed. Okay, so this looks actually not that terrible. If Speed can get up a second base fairly soon here, he's gonna be in a very decent spot. And Su, on the other hand, Well, his tech was basically scouted, but the macro hatch definitely was a really good addition here to his play. But yeah, that tech being scouted means that there's no surprises. Basically, Russia knows this is not a muta play. And this should just be a lair on 2 bases with a Hydra, like a Lurker bust, I guess. You could try to do a Hydra bust. I mean, there's not that many units. And Hydras are really good against Terran if it comes down to kind of lower numbers from the Terran. And the Hydras don't have... They're gonna be in decent numbers anyways. Because they're so cheap and very supply efficient. That's gonna be very interesting here. We still don't see a second command center from Speed. He's just going into a follow-up push, it seems. A +1 push with a couple of vessels and 3 barracks. It's gonna stay very long here on 1 base. And Su keeps on adding more and more drones. He's really getting up there in the worker department. He's going into an evolution chamber, and he's playing this very unit light himself. So he's trying to basically outgreed his opponent again. He's trying to catch up to the tech by being greedy and having a bigger army, right? So that's the idea here from Su, but also not forgo the tech completely. He's gonna go into the Evo chamber. He's gonna go into he should be upgrading the Lurker upgrade, right? He's going into Hydra upgrades. That's very curious. So he will play Hydra Ling? That's not a thing. Not really. So he's playing this like a StarCraft 2 game, kind of. He's playing a lot of Hydras. He'll probably add in a bunch of Lings. He's eventually gonna add Lurker upgrade, I think. But there's already the push out, and he's not gonna have Lurkers for this one, most definitely. So I wonder, is mostly Hydras just coming out from these X? There's really just Hydra busting is gonna be with a Sunken, at least attempted. Those build very fast. But yeah, the vessels are not gonna be that helpful. He should probably do a defense matrix if he has one, because yeah, look at that. And irradiate, it just isn't that great. Like, you can walk the Hydra forward and it's not that expensive. The medics and like bio is very difficult to kill. There's gonna be the Wraith again. It's gonna kill another drone here. Like with Hydras, it's just difficult to kill. That's the issue. There come the Hydras. He's gonna go for that Overlord. No. Just gonna get a little bit of a scout again with that Wraith. Pretty good. And gets 1 drone. Definitely nice, but I think he's putting himself a little bit too much on timer here by simply not making a command center. I'm not sure if this is like a challenge he uses for his YouTube or something. Oh, there we go. Finally the command center goes in. But that feels awfully late. And even though he has the SCV lead, the Zerg, it doesn't need that many drones to operate. And he oversaturated, like Su oversaturated his 2 bases. That means he actually has a decent income for a Zerg player. And he has the 3 geysers, so this could be seen as a 3 gas or 3 base Zerg, kind of, with the actual income value. But 1 gas is already at 1k, so you need to be very careful. This is gonna run out very soon. But he can go up to Defilers on this 2 base setup. And that's gonna be difficult to break. There's gonna be Dark Swarm, there's gonna be... well, only Dark Swarm, I guess, really, you can afford, but there's gonna be a lot of units and a lot of Lurkers with Dark Swarm, so... there we go, defense matrix, but this time there is gonna be Lurkers. I don't think that Rush knows about this. There come the Spines, and he immediately turns around. He's gonna throw down 1 Irradiate here on one of these Lurkers. Man, a second one. So you will start to irradiate the Lurkers here 1 by 1, but of course Su will just remake them 1 by 1. See? He loses 2, he makes 2 more. He actually makes 4 more. It's a little bit supply blocked right now, and he goes up into the hive. The Queen's Nest is done. And remember, you can always break through this back door and secure yourself another base around here, for example. Which is going to be difficult to hold. There's going to be siege tanks now, so finally Rush brings something up to try and break this actually, but now is the time where Su is just gonna push forward just before the tanks are in siege mode and sieged up and ready to fight. He needs to be careful though, he doesn't have Dark Swarm yet, he can't really fight this with Hydras that much. But the Lurkers are gonna be helping him to push through here for now. He's actually pushing this back quite nicely here, man. Hydras is really good at chasing armies. I just noticed this, but yeah, they're really good at actually chasing down Bayer. It's kind of crazy. You can punish a retreating army so heavily. Look at that. He gets the tank as well. He has to turn around now, but he pushed him all the way back. And now he could do a soft contain, which he's not gonna do. He's gonna pull back with his own army here. But he just took the map control basically back to him. And now he can move out with the drone immediately. He's gonna go over there. He's gonna take a third base here, which he desperately needs because this gas is gonna run out. Basically with... Oh my god, he goes into Spire. What? Where's the Defiler Mound? What are you doing, Su? Oh, so this is getting scanned. He sees the Hive and he sees the Spire. That's kind of scary. Now he throws down the Defiler Mound after the Spire. It's a very interesting concept, but you see he's basically out of minerals and really has a lot of gas actually right now banged up, so he might just go for a bigger swell of mutas here. I'm not sure if I like this. This could be Guardians. Let's see if there's like a good spot for Guardians. This is kind of doable, I guess. This area is okay for Guardians, but there was already a Wraith. So I'm not sure if this is really the play you want to go for here, Su. I'd rather like the Defilers here. And maybe a Neutralist Cavern. There's gonna be a second Evo chamber. Is he actually making something with the Spire? This might be a red herring. That's an expensive one, to be considering that he was on 2 bases for so long. Even though it's with a third gas income, it's not with higher value, so in the end, he's gonna mine out faster. That's the issue. He loses or catches that Wraith. Needs to be careful though, does not want to lose his army to the Vessel and Medic Marine composition here. I'll lose a couple of these. Oh, can he kill 1 or 2 of these? Yeah, 1 is gonna die. At least he gets a rekill here. And he needs to morph a few more Lurkers here. There's the first Defiler. And yeah, not sure why he made that Spire, man. That could have been the Defiler Mount and it would be already ready with Consume. Now he has to walk back all the way into his natural. He's trying desperately to delay this. Look at that. He has to save these Lurkers. Where is that upgrade? Oh, he loses the whole army just before it finishes, I think. Oh no, this might be the worst move. The Spire is what killed him. He loses the base, he throws down the Dark Swarm, now he has 1 invincible Hydralisk. Well, thank God. But the Hydras also can't kill anything, and it is GG. Rush does take the game. What a game. Su, man, with that mistake Spire. I don't know why he made that Spire, he didn't get anything from it. He didn't get any Scourge to hunt down vessels. There was some overconfidence. Some big overconfidence there for sure. And in the end, that did cost him the game, because that could have been the Defiler Mount, that could have been faster, that could have been a faster upgrade, and that's really what he needed desperately to hold on in that game. So soon. Okay. See if I can find this. This was Rush against Su. But we've got more Su games, so don't worry. Got still Light against Su. Let's see how he can fare against Light. But he's been hitting these top end players. Oops. For a while now on the ladder. Alright, and this one in the top center we have, so top left we have Light, and in the right center we have Su. Now can Su make it happen on this map? It's one of the greatest, arguably the best Terran currently. Alright. Let's see what we're gonna get here. Looks like a hatchery first from Sue. There we go. Just gonna send down that drone. On the other side, it's gonna be a standard barracks opening here for light. Very interesting placement. It's not going to go with a wall or any kind of sorts. I think your exit is about here or something on this map for this spawning position, or he... Wait, this is down. This should be here on the right though, right? Like, it should be the far mineral side. Not really sure, and he's going to the natural. This is an interesting kind of backward barracks position here. Gotta say. So this is the natural for him. And for light. And there's the ramp. It's interesting. He doesn't even wall, but he also places his very far backward. That means that his marines have to walk through the mineral line if they want to go and assist in that natural. And he immediately lifts that up to the top and lands it again. So he's gonna wall in. Oh, this is gonna be two base Wraith build. No, a two gate two starport Wraith. So he's gonna wall in an SCV, I guess. On the top here with the factory and the barracks, so you can bring him later down. He's not even gonna make a marine. What the F, man. Sue did see him, did he? He did see him, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did see him with the Overlord. Can't believe if he didn't check that. But yeah, there's gonna be actually a two base. This is a two base Wraith build. No marines. This no F's given. Light. What a crazy build. It's gonna go scout now. So there he brings that SCV and he makes a supply depot now here. Not sure, man. Not sure what this is all about. So it opens up this path again. He goes into just a vulture, I guess. Oh, this might have been to kind of block a bad SCV path or something. Not sure. Now he makes the armory back here. Is this Goliath build? Alright, alright. Still not sure why that barracks had to be sitting over here in that corner for so long. But yeah, he has one vulture now across the map. There's gonna be the lynx. They will find the vulture. Or is it the other way around? At least they'll die. There's a couple more lynx around the map. There's a few overlords hovering here and there. Sue has had some good vision so far. We still have to wait and see if this is a full-on mech build or if he wants to do something different with this. I haven't seen any additional production facilities, but there we go. There's your factory number 2. And that should mean that we will see a bunch of Goliaths, because there's going to be that Spire. Goliath build is back. And we do see a few Marines here as well. There's going to be a bunker. At least one Marine. He might make 2. Yeah, he's going to make 2. There's going to be the second gas in a moment. Oh, no. Oh, it's just the rally point. I'm sorry. It's actually only mining with 2 on gas right now. Might want to change that soon to get his upgrade going. And the range as well. Sue's gonna try to come in with a bunch of links here right now. Trying to come in. But the start of the defense looks very good. Now he's gonna catch a Goliath though. That's really good for him. He can reduce the Goliath count already so early in the game. And he brings even in more links. They will get chased down by the vulture eventually. Oh, maybe not. Comes down to micro here. Can Light keep this one alive? Oh. and he gets caught in the corner. So now there's 3 Zulings inside the base of light. I'm gonna shoot at the SCVs here. But already the Goliath's coming in for the reinforcement. But these SCVs are gonna be a little bit lower now in that game, and eventually if Mutas come in to try and harass this base, well, there will be a few less bounces needed to clear out those guys. And of course full vision here. He sees the position of the turrets, which is really nice. He kills even an SCV. Oh, he might get a second one. Wow, can't believe it. That Ling man. SCV also coming in, gets a really good scout here on our Su base. There's the 3rd hatchery. Where are the Mutas? There they are. 6 Mutas. So with that many turrets and double Goliath production, there's a bunker with a couple of Marines. There's already 4 Goliaths out. I think light is pretty safe. There might be this depot which could stick out a little bit, so you could harass the depot a little bit and maybe get a few good bounces. I'm gonna try to kill a turret. I don't think he does it, but that's a lot of commitment there. He gets a Goliath as well. Range is gonna be finishing in a second. And where you kill 1 turret, there's gonna be 2 more built. That's how Terran Bryans work. Can harass that gas a little bit, but that 1 turret with the vision from that Angie base actually quite nasty then. And good rotation on the Goliaths here. You'll be able to fight off these Mutas. It's gonna trade a Goliath for a Muta. That's gonna be good for the Terran. And Su does go into damage. Okay, so I was thinking you want to go into armor. Because the Goliaths, they shoot 2 missiles, so that should be a double applied armor there. I guess, of course, you just want to kill them as fast as you can, because your glaives do get the additional damage, right? Man, good repair on that gas. And we see the factory explosion here now happening. He's even gonna repair up the 1 Goliath that was damaged here. Su's still going very heavily on Mutas here. Now going at the armor, so it's gonna be 1-1 Mutas eventually. And yeah, he might just make Mutas, like thousands of them, against the Goliaths. We've seen that before as a viable strategy in the past. Mutas coming in, he could maybe catch these Goliaths out in the front. I don't think the Goliaths are high enough number to actually fight this off. But the reinforcements do come in, so maybe the math does change just enough here in favor of light. But Su will reset the Goliath count quite heavily here, and he will keep... I think there was a good trade for Su that looked really good for him. He keeps a bunch of his Mutas alive, and he has now a lot of possibilities, for example, to kill these depots, to harass. Should probably try to dive in a little bit more there actively with those guys. Now there we see the armor upgrade coming in here for the Goliaths. It's gonna be extremely helpful against these Mutas. This is again a little bit aggressive. If Su has a bunch of links with this, if he has like 6 links with this or something, he can so easily crush these Goliaths. Even though Goliaths are decent against links, they're not good against 2 targets at once, right? If you have Mutas, are always really good in conjunction with links. They are like insanely well, profiting from those like, so well. He's constantly resetting the Goliath count here. There's only 1 Goliath left. It was pretty low, but this time that was a very big investment here from Su. He is quite low on Mutas. It was more of a trade here. And Goliaths are cheaper, they're easier to reproduce. But Su is not giving up, he's just gonna arm wrestle this, it seems. It's gonna be the starboard coming in here. So we have the armory, of course, and if you see just more and more, like, this is nonsense, right? From the Terran point of view, if you see more and more mutas, you just go eventually into Valkyries, and you don't care about mutas anymore. You're like, man, yeah, I actually don't need Goliaths to beat your muta flock. I can just make Valkyries. Of course, that's gonna be when the Scourge come in, but as long as it keeps a few Goliaths with his army, Scourge are not that big of an issue. A couple of vultures moving in now, trying to shoot some drones, only gets one. And one vulture gets blocked here. Gets a few more, not too many though. Light is trying to establish a third base. I don't think this was seen yet by Su. This would be an easy kill, but it's a greedy third. I like it, and it's gonna be very helpful. He still has a bunch of Goliaths here. He's gonna move them over, but we do have almost two groups of mutas, or at least 1.5. Oh, Su coming in like in between the Goliaths. They have a very big arc, and that's basically the engagement how they want to fight mutas. They want to be in a very big line and try to hit the mutas all at once, while the mutas have to walk a long distance to try and kill the Goliaths themselves. But we do see the transition into Hydras. Oh my god, man. How do those vultures just don't die? I'm so used to them like getting popped so easily. Su needs to identify this third base. I don't think he still hasn't seen. I guess he knows about it now, yeah. But that was such a big mistake, letting that get up so easily. I mean, it was one turret and one command center for the longest time. Now it's gonna be a bunch of turrets, it's gonna be a bunch of Goliaths, it's gonna be the command center, a lot of SCVs, some structures even helping out here. And we do have a big minefield now set up as well. So things are looking very good for Light. And honestly, there's still no spellcaster, there's still no hive, there's gonna be a vulture drop even into that main base. There's finally the Queen's Nest, but this is so late, it feels like. If Light pushes very soon, and there's not gonna be that Defiler mount. Oh, he's going into Queen's first. I would have still wanted to see. I think you still need Dark Swarm, honestly, to hold off that initial aggression. Because if you think about it, like if you look at the army, it's mostly Goliaths. So he's kind of thinking tanks, right? That's why he goes into Broodlings. But it's Goliaths, so what he wants here is he wants Plague or Dark Swarm, or in best case both. But Light is basically faking him out. He's throwing in so many vultures that you'd think, oh, he's going tank vulture. But he's in fact not, he's just making more and more Goliaths. So he will eventually just come and try to overwhelm with those. And Su just has the wrong army. He goes into Queens now. They're not gonna do well against Goliaths. He needs that hive, right? He's building an anti-tank army. Hydralisk Queen. Against the tanks, you don't really need the Dark Swarm that desperately, because they're gonna AoE you down anyways. He sees this high count of Goliaths, and I think this is where he notices that he made a mistake. And he's simply not gonna have the army to deal with this. I mean, the army supply is huge in favor of Light. And he's setting up a good position for himself now across the map. He can send his reinforcements forward, and he's still just making Goliaths. He's getting siege mode now, at 14 minutes into the game. This is the 4th base for Su. This was very, very late, considering how fast the third from the Terran was. And Su's setting up a big arc here. But again, he's just missing the crucial piece of tech. And I think he's underestimating the power of the Infestor and why so many people just go for the Infestor. It's like a fix-all for Zerg. And now Su's gonna push in? I don't think about this, bro. He doesn't have the vision here. The Overlords are lacking behind. And I think that was a lot of overconfidence here from Su. that's basically it. Now Light can just go across the map. Look, there's so many Goliaths behind us. Those Mutas are just getting absolutely obliterated here. And the Hydras are getting decapitated as well here. Everyone is gonna lose their head. The Overlords are gonna splatter as well. Science vessels are having fun too. And man, those Goliaths are just no fun. They're no fun, man. They're here to shoot people, and those people are Hydras. They walk on things. And GG's called, so yeah, there you go. That was a really, really crazy misread from Su. What an insane misread. It was a good disguise, I want to say, from Light, but he did a lot of good things, which Su just... He was missing information, he was basically missing scouting intel, a lot of scouting intel. Like, really a lot of scouting intel. Let's go into a ZVZ. I want to see a ZVZ. It's been so long since I've seen a ZVZ. There's a ZVZ. Effort against Su. Always Su. I've got so many Su games. Let's see a ZVZ. Alright. In the center right position we've got Effort. In the bottom left it is Su. Can he hold himself in a ZVZ right now? Against Effort, who's also probably one of the greatest Zerg players to ever touch the game. It's really difficult to, at this point in Brood War, to really decide who are some of the best players, because there have been so many, right? And it really comes down to who's active and at what time they were their best, because it's been such a rich history at this point for Brood War. It's very insane at this point. There's so much behind all of that, so much story. Both players going for the exact same thing here. Are we gonna see a macro game? Alright. So Su is going a tiny bit faster into these structures. Effort is gonna have a faster gas, but Su is gonna have a faster pool. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. But as of yet, there's one drone lead for Effort, it seems. So it looks like he just has the better build. But Su is gonna have the faster... Oh, he's gonna have the faster lair. Okay, that's interesting. I was gonna think he's going into that faster speed. He made those links immediately. He's only operating on 10 drones to 11 right now. So Effort squeezed that one additional in. He's gonna have his lair fairly... comparatively. I feel like this is not going well for Su already at this point. Just build otherwise, this looks like a tiny advantage here for Effort. And in a ZVZ, a tiny advantage can ripple like crazy, like a waterfall. And that one extra drone is so big. There's gonna be that conga line of Zerglings. They're gonna touch each other's backs with their hands. I wanna zoom in one of these. Yeah. Okay, looks great. There's a spire. And a second hatch for effort. Wait, no. What? Yes, a second hatch for effort. So that's the money he was able to squeeze out from the digital drone, it seems like. One extra hatchery. That's crazy to think about. Su, can he break through though? He will break the entrance, but there's gonna be reinforcing links coming in. For effort, he loses one of them immediately. A drone is gonna come and fight that link. Oh, he loses the drone. Oh no, 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 effort. Oh, he loses two more. He does have the second hatchery though. I feel like the second hatchery is gonna be just enough to keep him safe, but Su, man. I mean, the spy is not done yet. He's going into a bunch of meters, I guess. Can he catch one more drone? Oh, good defense here. That was a good defense. That one drone, that got really low. One more hit and it would have been done. Now we do have a sunken. Is he gonna make more drones? Yes, so he will remake drones. And I hope he just makes a couple more. He's gonna go into Scourge first. Okay, so he has the full gas income, just like his opponent. But he doesn't have that much mineral income right now, and he needs the minerals to remake drones. That's why he just goes into Scourge, tries to catch Su. The issue though is with this, he cannot really kill overlords himself. And the second issue is that he will have to kill the mutas. He will have to catch them. The mutas can out micro Scourge if they are controlled correctly. And he will find the Scourge now. There was a good turn from Su that happened. He gets the first one. Gets the second. He does get one connection, but that's about it. And the rest of the Scourge are gone. So that's a lot of gas gone here for effort. And I think he's finally gonna be able to, make his first few mutas, but this is a nice supply lead here right now for Su. He's trying to catch a muta. Oh my god, it doesn't work. It still runs away. Oh no. That's the worst. Now he can bring it back. Oh, this is gonna happen. LOL! What? It did connect too early. So in the end, the Scourge connected while it was still the health of the egg. That's crazy, I've never seen that. So the Scourge connected too early. So he keeps both of these mutas alive. That's insane. So he has three super hurt mutas. But there's only 2 mutas for effort. Is Su just gonna win this? He has such a big lead right now in mutas. He should probably add a drone or something. But he's just making more and more mutalisks. This is crazy. He's just trying to find anything on the map though, but look at that. He has 4 one-time hit mutas, so he can't really go that aggressive even if he wants to, but he has so much firepower. If there's ever a situation where effort moves out and exposes his base and Su is in the area of the base from effort, he can go in and completely kill everybody before he loses himself. So effort has to stay back here. He's finally getting up into more mutas himself. But this flock is so big. Is he actually going? He's not going into an upgrade yet. Could start an upgrade as well. Get that air armor. Even has a Scourge inside there. There's only half the amount of mutas here for effort. I mean, if Su waits long enough, he's gonna fully regen. The issue though is 4 fully regen mutas. Is that gonna be enough time for effort to catch up in muta count though, right? That would be the other issue. Su's just gonna expand, okay. He says I'm ahead, but he needs to make a few more drones. He's only on 8 drones right now. His excess mineral is starting to disappear, kind of. It doesn't really pull apart that much or ahead that much anymore from his gas income. Effort also not going into a upgrade so far. Su will show his meter flock. He's gonna see like, alright, it's a full group. And Effort still is missing meters for his group. Oh my god, and Su says, alright, it's time, I've got a group of Scourge, I've got a group of Muta. Let's see what you got, and Effort does see this, he sees this coming, now he's scared. Now he's like, alright man, And Su is not committing, that's actually very smart, so he just stays back here, he's gonna spread out a little bit more it seems. Spire is still not... He needs more drones, man. Look at that. He's operating 8 drones. 3 on gas, 5 on the minerals. I want to see drones from the second hatchery. It's going to be a bunch of links trying to come in, but they still don't have speed. They're not going to have speed, it seems. Effort now moving out, saying like, alright. I have enough. I can trade. No. Effort, no. No. You don't have enough. Oh my god. Su has more than enough. He still gets a drone though, and that's really big. It's 7 to 12 now. He squeezed in another drone himself. But if he gets caught in the corner now, that's kind of all you need to do here. Su, kill the meters in the corner. These Scourge need to be controlled though. And it's only 4 meters remaining here. Ah, and 2 links coming in. They will try to snipe this drone here, but the drone is actually gonna run away to the natural. And finally we do see some additional drones here being produced for Su. Recognizing that his money is a little bit too low. Needs to get this done. There's a lot of links coming in. There's no speed though for those links, and he's not making speed. He's actually going into a natural base himself, the second hatchery, or the third hatchery I'd guess, for Effort here. Su's starting to build up the meter flock again, and then getting out some Scourge again. It's gonna be that additional guys. I hope he makes a few more for minerals as well. You need some more minerals as well. So you can't have 6 mining on gas and only 5 on minerals. It's not how this works. Then you won't be able to produce mutas. It's gonna be a Scourge economy then. Mass Scourge. Can't kill buildings. Now Effort tries to commit again, but honestly, I don't like him doing that. I don't know why he's doing this. Su's staying back, and that's good for Effort's sake, because look at this. I mean, he tries to make this happen so he can kill something with the links, but this is such a big muta lead now for Su here, and honestly, Effort just playing with that second base, playing from behind, I think is a good thing if he just stays back, because Su doesn't seem to be aggressive in this game at all that much. He's not really harassing the base, he's not trying to come in. Doesn't really do that much there. Now he's finally gonna find a bunch of overlords here. That's gonna be very, very hurtful. That's 300 minerals gonna be going down for Effort. And there's 1 muta actually. Oh my god. It's gonna be the Scourge, but he does kill a drone. But can actually Effort defend at home. He's making links right now. If he gets 1 muta, congratulations. How are you gonna kill the rest? Not at all. GG is gonna be called. And Su does take the game. Let me quickly do this thing. There you go. Sweet, sweet brutal music. Oh yes. This is the best part. Instant replay. That was the Su against the thing. The ZVZ, right? Su against Effort. Okay. Now I'm a little bit sick of Su, that's why we're gonna go with a different player. Because we still need to come back to Su eventually. I have one TVP in here. Keep that for later. I got a PVZ still. Let's do that. Let's do PVZ from not Su. It's not this one. It's not this one. There we go. Action against Rain? Let me double confirm this. Yes, it's Rain. Okay. Action against Rain. Should be a great one. Let's go into this game. Hello, hi. And the top right, we've got Rain, Hi Man, and the bottom left, we've got Action. Alright, it's gonna be a gateway expand here from Rain. That's all what we were waiting for here. To see if it's gonna be Forge or gateways. Oh, not gateways, I guess a gateway. It's not gonna be two. That would be crazy. Action going into that hatchery first. And he's gonna go scout cross with this drone most likely, which will find where Rain is. And then a second pylon and then main base here. Good to see you, Boom Shakalaka. Hope you're having a good time. Oh, he's not gonna scout cross, that's curious. Usually you scout cross with the drone and you do scout the other two locations with the overlords. He did not send this overlord out far enough, I guess. Action did. So he will go with the drone here and he will go back. So he knows it's gonna be cross and he just sends the drone back. He only scouted the natural, by the way. If this would have been a one base build from Rain, well then you wouldn't know. It's actually gonna... what? He's gonna try to set up a third, but the probe's already there to block it. Oh no, you still wanna use the herd drone. Oh, come on, you could have... you know, that's the German inside of me. The maximum efficiency, I'm always a little bit sad about it. You could have had this drone already up, regenerate. It could have been a fully healthy drone there. Alright, so let's see Cybernetics Core. I want to see this thing, the pinnacle of Protoss ingenuity. Probe's still across the map here, trying to make something happen. We've got a bunch of links coming out right now, but there's two zealots waiting and there's no vision for action. He doesn't know that this is happening. That Cybernetics Core still hasn't started yet. It's kind of crazy. Oh, so he's gonna throw down a forge in that frontal entrance, and it's not gonna be a core at all. He has the double zealot now across the map. The Lynx have to pull back, have to deal with this. He doesn't want to lose this base. The probe is inside the main, which is interesting. He's gonna scout and see if I can find any things that would say Hydralisk Dan. So if you can scout a lair or a Hydra Den, that would be the things that he wanted to see. I don't think he sees either. Yeah, so the probe was killed as well. We're gonna see the zealot die first. This is where the probe died. And there's no, as you can see, there's no lair. There's no Hydra Den. There's not even drones. There's like a bunch of Lynx. And there's your forge. The cannon behind. Finally that cybernetics core opening in the main base now. And a couple of zealots are gonna posture here. Behind the minerals, they're gonna basically skill check from time to time. If a drone just strays a little bit too close, they'll come in, they'll try to hit it and assassinate it on the spot. So Action actually moves a few drones away to his natural. He's not that saturated on the natural, so he says, alright, before I just get too close to your units here with my drones, like if a drone moves over there, it's gonna be... This is a death zone. Like this patch is a death zone. If one drone ever goes there, it's gonna get hit by the zealots. Now he kind of tries to contain them. The first Hydra is gonna be there, and this is gonna be go time. So he's just gonna contain them, and the Hydra should be able to shoot them down. It's gonna take him a while. He only deals like 5 damage or so. Yeah. What? Finally. The zealots can't. They should probably just walk out and try to trade with the Lynx. So he kills one Lynx, okay. +1 is on the way. Is this gonna be a 3 base? Yeah, it looks like this is gonna be a 3 base. Okay, that's why he was standing around there. It's still gonna be a Hydra bust. We will see that bust attempt at least. It's gonna be with the range, so that's kind of what you're trying to go for, so you can actually really kill the entrance. The thing is though, it might just not be a fully committed attack, meaning that he will basically just shoot down the wall, and that's gonna be it. And then he just pulls back or plays a little bit of a soft contain. There's an Overseer in front as well, so he can... An Overlord, sorry, so he can protect any DTs that might come and try to get to freedom. We've got one Corsair roaming the bases, getting that vision. He will see the additional hatches coming down here already, and he knows, hey, yeah, man, you're not that committed. It's more of a contain than a bust. And it's like a why not, you know? It's a simple why not move for the Zerg. Because you can do it anyways. It's cheap to do it. Relatively. And now he can of course start to shoot down these structures. Maybe he can get +1. Needs to be careful though, one Hydra is gonna get killed by that cannon. One Zealot sticks out a little bit too much as well. And actually he can reach the forge as well. So that's gonna be a little bit sad here for Rain. But the upgrade is gonna finish at this rate. Action is not focusing that much on trying to get any Hydras any closer. Oh, he's gonna get close, but this is... Yeah, he's gonna run in with the Zealots now. He should have dove on that. So he finishes the upgrade, then he runs back with the Zealots. The Forge stops spinning. So that's a little bit unfortunate for Action. He should have maybe dove on that. As he saw, what the F are those guys? Man, they are like crazy right now. Okay. Like once you see it still spinning, you might want to do a dive as well. Just like one, take like a couple of hits, just finish it off. Now he has +1. It's a very good upgrade for him. He can now freely go into that mass Zealot style. He already has the... Where's the High Templar? Archives. The Storm is about to finish up here very soon. Here's the first few Templars out. They're gathering energy and they already have enough for Storm, so he will soon break out of this contain. We see a drone coming here with this group. It's going to be a little bit of a mistake, of course. There are no separate rally points existing in this game. And Action, yeah, he needs to transition. He's going into that lair finally, and then into the lurkers. But that's going to take a while, and until that is done, there's going to be a lot of opportunity here for Rain to be basically on the map. There was some crazy storms, but they crazily didn't kill anything, so honestly, not sure if I like those. It was very interesting though. It was a really cool setup where you had them like set up like this. And if Action stays a second too long, then he loses like 6-7 Hydras there. And then you can all of a sudden break that point. Oh, so he has to kill one of his cannons. Of course, he didn't know it's gonna be a full committed Hydra bust. He needs more cannons, so that's basically like a give and take from the Zerg and the Protoss. The Zerg says, alright, I've got Hydras, I'm gonna make Hydras, I'm gonna contain you or kill your buildings. And the Protoss says, okay, if you make so many Hydras, I need to make cannons, so you can't actually move in and just kill me and not only the buildings. So the Protoss commits to the cannons, the Zerg commits to a few Hydras. In the end, it kind of evens out, because the Zerg committed into that very early tech. It evens out a little bit. I feel like, usually I like the position of the Zerg a bit better, but only if the Protoss is gonna be denied from a third base for a while after this. And of course, if you can get a lurker contain up, that's even better here for you, but yeah. Now he kills the Overlord. That's the detection gone, so he could go and make a round of DTs, bring them to really firmly grip that map control. But first of all, Rain is just gonna place down an additional Nexus here and get that base up and running. Now, so what I was touching on earlier here, you see all of these cannons, they're gonna be helpful in this game going onwards. It's not like a useless investment. They will basically prevent a run by into the natural, into the main for a very long time, until there's a lot of tech, and it's gonna be very difficult to actually execute. So it's not like an easy A click, you know, an A move into that base. It's more like you actually need to throw down a couple of spells to break that position now. But is Action actually gonna have that time, or is Rain just gonna break his third base first here, while he also kills the fourth base on top? He would definitely kill the fourth base, but we do have the third base from Rain being denied here as well. Action's third does stand strong, but this fourth base got killed off. Didn't have the appropriate defenses in place yet. Now Action has a very big army here to the north as well. And he could come in for a surround. Those are the drones that were evacuated from the fourth base. And there's the lurker kind of wall. Now Action sees the army, he's gonna bring back these Hydras here. Whoa, that's a big group of Hydras. And if you can come and fight from the two angles at the same time, sometimes that's all you need. Now he kind of needs to run with the Hydras into the north area again. And Rain could just chase those. He could just say, alright, I'll chase you. He's gonna do that, so Action decides to split. But there's already units waiting here on the other side. So this split is actually just making one army really weak. And okay, so he could just pull up to the high ground and make Lurker Axe here forever. So he's gonna be in a good like position. Just place one Hydra down there, and then you need to storm those as the Protoss, or you just simply can't get up there. But yeah, he's basically fortified himself. That's a very interesting thing. I really like this move. It's cool, tactically brilliant move. There we go. He's gonna move a Lurker Egg now. Are we gonna see a Storm to try and break that one? No, he's actually storming the Hydras on top. I think that's the better choice, yeah. Now he's gonna storm that egg. The Hydras, they kind of like evacuate us, overlords. But little do they know, there's no overlord transport on the way. There's actually a hive on the way. So he's kind of hiding in this corner, and even though Rain is up the hill, he doesn't check that one yet. Now this is another 4th base attempt here for action, and that one looks way better. Finally he finds these Hydras, he snipes the Observer, and that's a high value target there. Now he tries to go for a Templar, I guess, but he might just run away. The Hydra's pretty dead though. Again, trying to form a line here in the center to try and push in. A bunch of Lynx and Hydras are waiting here, but those Lynx kind of get pulled into the army from the Protoss and are not trading that well because they're fighting without the Lurkers, without the Hydras. They're finally pushing in through here. That is Rain, and we need to see a few of these units actually come over. There's no Nidus Canal yet set up, so that's not instant reinforcements here for our Zerg player. And all of these goons are kind of standing strong here for now. We do see these Templars though mostly out of energy. There's one left with Storm, and that's gonna be all of your 3 High Templars. The goons, as good as they look at first, eventually once they start to break down, they actually break down really heavily. And yeah, he had one Storm, he didn't chuck it out, he immediately morphed it into an Archon. So now he might just lose all of these Dragoons. He has very good upgrades though. 2-2 here on the other side. This 2-1 is also pretty decent. And yeah, action is actually getting broken here. Also was getting broken here by Zealots on the other side of the map. And there we go, man. That was really good. Oh my god, I'm literally driving now. Those bot messages, man. Those bot messages. I'm literally driving now, but when I park, me and my squad are pulling up heavy to an extreme. Add me on my Discord username and get the virus for free and be part of the bot network so we can actually use your computer performance to mine bitcoins. Yeah! Okay, I want to be part of that. Those messages, man. I'm literally driving now, but when I park, and then he misses a space, me and my squad. The fuck is this squad? It's his full bot network. And we're pulling heavy, and we're pulling up heavy to an extreme, so his car is actually gonna crash into my house? Fucking bot cars. Alright, so I got that done. Oh man. Okay, so that was action against Rain. Done there. Let's do a TPVT, I think, yeah. It's gonna be Ample against Paralyze. You might have heard of these guys. They're not the best players, but they're pretty good players. But they're amongst the best players, I guess. In the top left position we have Paralyze, a Protoss player. And in the center right we do have Ample. Now let me pull up some information on these guys for you. But pretty sure that these people are quite long-standing professionals. So Ample, oops, used to play for, there we go, used to play for KT Rolster. You might have heard of this team. And Paralyze used to play for SKT1. So there you go. Paralyzed best performance was a round of 16 in an OSL, by the way. Well, he was a professional back in 2010. And Ample's best performance, I guess, was in... Let's check. Okay, so he never really got up that great while there was still Casper going on. But he has good results in ASL. He's like a regular in those ASLs. ASL, yeah. I mean, he's getting better. So there we go. That's Ample and Paralyze. You got KT Roadster against SK Telecom. It's a good rivalry there as well. And yeah, it's gonna be a TVP here finally. We're gonna see some tanks and vultures shooting at dragoons and zealots. Yeah, me and the squad. I even choked on my water here. Who's the squad, man, for real? Okay, so we're gonna see a bunker first, and then into that. The command center eventually. He's gonna make that bunker on the high ground, of course. The zealot, didn't he scout his opponent yet? I guess, maybe. The zealot's kind of posturing in the center, but the bunker's gonna be done, so yeah. It's gonna be good here for Ample. I think this looks really solid for him. Now he can just throw down the command center eventually. Once he has the money. There's gonna be a goon. No, it's actually not going across the map. So he will... Paralyze will just not do anything with this. He just make one zealot. It's not a huge investment. Yeah, it didn't do anything. But it also forced this bunker, right? So it didn't do nothing. It delayed the command center a tiny bit. So there you go. And there it is, the command center. One factory command center. Oh, he fully pulled out of gas. That's interesting. So he pulled completely out of gas to really boost the mineral income. Now he needs to go back into gas. He's making the machine shop, of course, first. So he has enough gas for a upgrade now, next. And a vulture, or like he could make a tank and an upgrade. A vulture upgrade, I guess. Doesn't have that much more. But yeah, he's gonna go up to 200. So he can make a tank and an upgrade at the same time. There we go. So he's gonna make a vulture though. But he could make a tank. So this is like a safety net, I guess. You wanna be at that money peak. In case your opponent throws Dragoon Contain across the map, you wanna be able to make that tank at that stage. If you don't need it, you can delay it, right? So you can use the money otherwise. He's just gonna go into more vultures. He's gonna make that mines, and he can go into an earlier second factory with this, or basically whatever he wants. There is. The goons are not really moving across the map, so Paralyze is playing very, very defensive here. Should be then a 3-gate observatory play here. This is the standard Protoss build that has been designed in 1999 or something, and it's been alive for almost a quarter of a century. This build has been around. It's insane. And on the other side of things, we're going into this sweet mech units, gonna go into the spider mines first, then it's gonna go that speed, and eventually he's gonna get siege mode after. Ideally you want to get it as late as possible, so what he's trying to get first is this thing, the armory, and get it going, actually pump an upgrade out, and then get siege mode. But he might just have to commit to siege mode very soon. He still doesn't have a tank, so he's gonna rely on the bunker a lot to keep him safe. Paralyze needs to be careful, he cannot run into those mines at all. But we also do see the Vultures trying to break an entrance here. Can he break open this Dragoon? So he does get in, loses 2 Vultures though to his own mine, unfortunately. And he will get 1 down in, but at the same time the bunker gets broken because he's so focused on the execution in the front. Now he needs to fight with SCVs. He needs to be careful though, always there's mines around here. He catches a goon, and finally a tank comes in. Well, that's, as I said, it is a little bit of a greedy play if you play this with no tanks. No, the goon, the goon beyond the engineering bay. This is a lot of damage, because that can get broken. You're really relying on the bunker, and if the bunker falls, I mean, even 4 goons and a couple zealots are just gonna deal a ton of damage in your base. That's how things work, and unfortunately it's not really a happy moment here for our Terran player Ample. So he was trying to basically establish a lead from being greedy. Now he actually is a little bit on the back foot here. You see the 3rd base is going up for Protoss player Paralyze. He's getting that gas up and saturated soon. He's going into the support base, so we'll see some Reavers pop out very soon as well. He did trade very efficiently against SCVs, against... He traded mining time as well. There was a lot of SCVs on off the minerals to try and fight. He killed a bunch of Vultures. He killed all of the Marines. So the only anti-air right now are turrets. That's gonna be great for the observers, because they can kind of avoid those turrets. I'd probably make like a 1 Goliath or so, or 2 Goliaths eventually. But yeah, he's very light on units. He lost so many Vultures in this fight. Those are the only 2 kind of out of the map right now, trying to re-establish map control with those mines again here. But it's just so few. Yeah, look at that. He's actually a man of my thought. He will make that double Goliath, and that's gonna be enabling him to kill off the observers if he ever gets a scan on them, but it will also help him push away that shuttle shenanigan that's gonna start here very soon. Still does not have an academy, so there's no scans for those observers. It's completely relying on those turrets. And there's a shuttle. The shuttle is about to move in here. He sees the turrets. Turrets are in good positions though. Gotta say, that one observer kind of chilling behind the turret line is funny. Coming in now for a bust here. You see the double drop. Zealot bomb and did not do too much though. He only decimates the front line. Everything in the back stands still and strong here. Now, if he can get a couple shots on those Reavers, he kills one of them. And if he kills the last Reaver, it's gonna be so difficult to push through. We do see the third base floating right now, but this attack is not worth it. It's not really gonna be able to break the front line. And all of that stuff behind is still standing true. Look at that, 3 tanks still on the road grind here, sitting and waiting for those goons to push in again, make another move. Don't think he has Zealot lags yet. We need to see and check that. Those feel like kind of slow, honestly. Maybe he has it and I'm weird, but I think those are slow Zealots, no? Maybe he made it. He's trying to push in again, but he loses the Reaver. That's gonna be all of his big push potential gone. And try to keep him off at third base, but in the end, Ample is gonna be able to secure the third base here. So yeah. He will be able to take that now very easily. He has 62 SCVs to 58 probes. There's more SCVs than probes. It's kind of a funny thing. You usually see the Terrans have more workers than all of the other races, but they'll always have less patches to saturate them. And finally, we do have that academy, of course, so there's gonna be scanners. He's immediately gonna kill an observer, as I said that here. And there's a lot of observers here, by the way. He needs to have some out on the map eventually again. Ooh. Making a turret under the observer. But yeah, he eventually is gonna need more on the map and not just in the Terran base, because it's a simple thing that's gonna happen where you will have... Oh my god. Like, by the way, this is like such a terrible map for anything that's not... Like, if there's ever a tank that can siege the base, it's crazy. Oh, so yeah, eventually he will have to clear mines again. Because Ample is gonna push out very soon. And he would start to just run around the map and lay mines again. He has 3 bases right now. Ideally he wants to have a 4th base. And he's setting that up right now. If he can get this connected with his whole defensive position, he's gonna throw down a bunch of mines to keep that safe first, and then he'll try to go for the center control, I guess. And he will go and try to push into the Protoss hard. So this is looking very, very systematic here from Ample, and I really like what I'm seeing. On the other side, Paralyze needs to bring in a few more things. He needs to kind of try to go for a flanking setup of bases. He has a bunch of money. He needs to go into additional tech. He's only adding a forge right now. He has the Templars now. He's trying to bomb in the Zealots and the Goons over, but that doesn't really work. So honestly, I want to see him go either into Arbiter or into Carriers here with this as well. One or the other. Storm kind of works very well with Arbiter play. So yeah, I'm not sure, or go and make more bases, right? Like, you need to do something here. You can't just do what you're doing right now, which is basically just relying on the Templar and on that Shuttle Reaver again. I guess you might just remake a few shuttles to bump out Templars. But yeah, this is looking good for Ample, I want to say. He's sitting on 4 bases at this point. Even has this one defended. The SCV is even unkillable. Oh! Now he gets killed. Wow, that thing lived longer than some of my games last. That's crazy. And he's trying to go for a bust here now. He has the high Templars. He needs to storm. He's storming on the SCVs. But there's the army that you actually wanted to storm. So this is going to be a little bit difficult to break. Again, you're paralyzed. Only coming in from one angle with these Zealots. They do have speed now, by the way. But that's not how this works. You cannot just kill the front line and the back. The army behind is just going to kill you and shoot you down. That's not how things... It's just not how it works. It's like you're trying to open a can and you pull the lid, like the little thing that's on top of the lid, and you rip that off, right? And then you're trying to eat the insides, but you can't open the actual can. Because it has so many sheet tanks inside, it's just gonna kill you if you walk through it. And look at this army behind him, man, this is crazy. If we take a look at the upgrades, we're looking at 1-1 right now. He still needs to set that second tech upgrade in motion here on that armory. He definitely has the money. And Paralyze is starting to assert map control. He's starting to roam a little bit. He's bringing a probe down right now, and we saw the scan. It's like, hey man, do you actually have that main base? I guess not. So I'm in a really good spot. And this is the time I was talking about with the observers. Now he needs them suddenly across the map anymore, again. He can't have them only here in the Terran main. Gonna try to drop a High Templar here, but that was a very, very fast pull on those SCVs. I would love to see this. So he just brings the SCVs from the main base immediately back. That's kind of cool to see, but now he needs to be careful. If he oversaturates this third base too much, then there might be eventually a one storm drop that's gonna kill half of his economy. This base got cancelled, by the way, by vultures. And he has so many of them right now. He's starting to line more and more mines here. He's gonna build up turrets now in the center. As you can see, he's already stretching himself a little bit inside this direction. And he will try to defend his mine setup. But what is Paralyzed trying to do against this? So, as I said, he's slowly going up in expansions, but he's not really going up in tech, is he? We don't really see anything coming in from him that might make you say, oh, he's gonna consider a different route. It's just gonna be the gateway units. They do have 1-1 upgrade, so they definitely need to be yeah, you need to check that out to get some more. At least one thing, I guess, that's gonna be good for Paralyze is a mistake from Ample. It's finally started at +2, so yeah, tanks with +2 or mech with +2 is just so much insanely stronger than +1 mech. But this is still, even if he breaks this area here, that's a good storm on that cluster of tanks there. But even now he breaks this area, it's just not gonna be enough, because this was half of the army, if at all. Look at that, he still has the center, he still has this area, which is just unkillable. He has this place locked down. There's just so much going on right now for Ample, and Paralyze, man, is just playing very one-dimensional. And not even in a great way, I have to say here. Now we do see the big tank push to the top center position here. It's gonna take out that cannon first, and this is an easy base to kill. You need to be careful though, you don't really want to lose all of that probe economy here, so he might want to transfer some of the probes, but they might get caught. He needs to kind of run them to the gas and then run them somewhere else. At the same time, Paralyze is saying, alright, it's time to storm drop your base. But in the end, he might break the base, but there's more reinforcements coming in here, more tanks. The Archons don't get made. He can't push up this ramp, I think. There's a tank in position that's getting repaired. There's a few tanks behind this. There's one High Templar who's trying to get a storm up again. And more tanks for the reinforce here. At the same time, this base in the north has been broken. A few zealots trying to get center control here, but that's not gonna work out. And yeah, this army as well is gonna go down the drain very soon here from Paralyze. It's kind of chasing the tanks back into a corner. That's quite nice. And there's gonna be a lot of zealots now, which are gonna be good against the tanks initially. They might take out most of the tanks, but there's even more reinforcements coming in again here. It's only reinforcing his tanks is kind of crazy. So he does kill a bunch of the workers at the third, and that was the very much oversaturated base. So I think that's good, but there's still 50 workers. There's still a lot of SCVs that can be transferred. And yeah, I think Ample can probably think about another base very soon here. He needs to be careful though that he doesn't get too overconfident himself. He should be up at +2 finally very soon here. But it's gonna be a good thing for him. Trying to come in with those goons, they're all gonna get caught here. In the center, as I said, control still goes to Ample, so all of these rotations are so difficult, so risky to do for Paralyze. And now he has to push with the shuttles without the support of the goons. Just a few zealots. He does get a couple good shots on the Reaver, but it's just not enough to be worth it. It's not paying for itself. There's another command center. Oh, come on, please focus on that High Templar, man. So he doesn't. The High Templar does survive. Let's see how long. So he has another base. He's gonna float this down here to the center bottom position. And that's gonna be very helpful. This army north, I think it rotated down, or was it cleared? I'm not sure. There might be one tank still with this. And this base is gonna be broken here as well. So it's gonna get shut down. The shuttle play is just not working. There's just enough anti-air everywhere, and yeah, Paralyzed realizes his mistake. He just didn't win the game. That was his mistake, so he needs to GG and get the F out. It's a really good looking map. Yeah, I like it too. It's really cool actually. It makes for very interesting games. GG is called. Okay, I need to go pee here, so I'm gonna be right back. Just 1 second. Thank you so much, Boom Chakalaka. Okay, so we're gonna go with Sue against the Rock. It's gonna be a PVZ here. I was very impressed, I said, with the Rock when I saw him the first time. And of course, he's also a old school Brood War player. No, Sue, I think he was on SKT, so he was on the roster. He was in like the last season. Oh, that's a different Sue. Very old school Sue. There we go. And Die Sue, yeah. Never Die Sue. So he played for SK Telecom in 2000. He was on their roster actually in 2009, 2010. I'm not sure if he was in the roster, but he was on the team at that time. I think he was on the roster, yeah. There's the hallucination right now, by the way. It looks so cool. But yeah, it's him in the top right here, and of course the StarCraft 2 World Champion and stuff. A lot of good things. And on the other side, it is our Protoss player. Wait, what? Wait. Oh yeah, okay, everything's good. It's a brown Protoss player for some reason. This gold thing was like gold, okay. Yellow and who's this? It is... I've got this. I've got this. It's the rock, of course. Okay, so the rock, right? The rock. It's not any rock, it's the rock. Okay, he's actually called Rock, but he was a this is like an really old school player. This guy is 40, or about to be 40. And he is as old as F, because he played his best first Premier tournament was 2003, and the major he was 2 times runner-up. The one was like a team match, and was Pro League basically. That's so old, it wasn't even called Pro League yet. Yeah. It was called Neowitz Pemang Cup Pro League. The 2003 one. So yeah, he was already playing in Pro League basically back then. And in 2003 he had like a major appearance where he lost to Crystal on the PGR 21, whatever that is. Then he has a couple of OSLs where he made run of 8s. Like 4 years in a row. 2005, 2006. Okay, that's 3 years in a row. 2008. I guess he misses 2007. But oh my god! Su doing the Brood. That's a StarCraft 2 move. That you don't see that in Brood War. By the way, he went up to 3 bases here, 3 hatches. There's a Zealot pressuring this base. Then you have a couple of links. There's a lot of things going on, but I'm always impressed with the Rock. He hasn't done that much recently, but this guy is like crazy, man. He's super old school. And his peak was basically 2000. I want to say 2004 to 2008-ish. His personal peak probably in 2006. We made the 2005 OSL, a round of 8, loses to July there. Then the 2006 OSL Season 1, he loses to Iris in the round of 16, that's fine, it's a good finish still. Then the follow-up OSL Season 2 in 2006, he loses to Good Friend in a round of 8 again. And in 2008, in the EVA OSL, he loses to July in the round of 8. So he has a bunch of good, decent finishes. A bunch of deep runs. And remember these OSLs? They used to be like insanely competitive. Like literally getting in was, you were on the top end of players in Pro League. If you would make it only into OSL, you would be considered one of the best players in the world at that time already. Just qualifying for that event was so insanely difficult. So making it to the round of 8 a few times even is a very impressive feat here. So that's the Rock. An Jung-ho. You guys might know Nal Ra, but he was also called Nal Rock sometimes. So I think he probably was on, like, you see this with like Endai Su, and he used to be on that same clan Endai as Jaedong, for example, right? So there's like a few things, these Endai and stuff, that I'm not exactly sure what those are, but they're not simple tags. Like they're not just simple, hey, I'm a fan, so I just make this. I think those are actually like online groups or something which used to play with each other. Okay, so let's see if this old school player can make it happen here against the old school StarCraft 2 champion. Now this is gonna be a Hydra contain for now. I'll have to see how much he wants to commit to this. Do you see the range is not done yet? There's no additional... Oh, there's the additional hatchery coming up. So he's just gonna break down the wall. I hope he snipes the forge. He's gonna wait for the range for now. He has a bunch of links with this, which makes it very interesting and kind of committed in the eyes of the rock, because it's usually not how you do this. You don't see the links, and like, why would they be there, right? He uses the links to get some early map control and pushes out the zealots, and then he just keeps them safe and brings them with the Hydra bust. Now he wants to kill that add-on, like the forge. He wants to kill the forge. He has range finished up now. He's gonna move in a little bit closer, but sometimes one cannon, if it starts to shoot, all of the others start to shoot as well. It's really, really weird. Hello, shield battery. Good to see you, brother. So Su's abandoning the idea of trying to kill that forge. We've seen this more recently. The forge is a little bit kind of tucked in, and a few cannons do cover the forge basically. So it's really difficult to actually kill this one without having to trade Hydras for this in this kind of setup. And of course Su is transitioning behind this. He's making more hatcheries. He's finishing up that lair. And we'll soon see what additional tech he wants to throw down with this. If he just wants to play a lurker game, if he wants to go into a spire, for example. Don't think we'll see that spire. Might just be the lurkers. It could be a lurker contain. The rock is gonna try to push out right now. He's gonna have a bunch of speedlots, and they have that +1, so they'll be happily trading against these Hydras, dealing a bunch of additional damage to them. And Su needs to be careful. He can kite them, but it's difficult. Those speedlots, they are very, very sturdy. And they can bust a lot of those Hydras. So since there's no lurker tag yet, you can't really make an egg wall or something to micro around, so... And of course he doesn't have the lurker itself to deal some assisting damage here to these zealots. Now on top of the ramp he should be able to be safe, but a few Hydras still get cut off here. Corsair is trying its damnedest to kill one Overlord. Will get pushed away. And the rock needs to abandon this. He needs to kind of pull back these zealots, yeah. Needs to kind of fan them out a little bit, I guess. Whatever you do want to do with those, but you can't really do anything aggressive anymore. Yeah, you don't want to just throw them away, right? So one thing is, he sacrificed a lot of zealots right now to trade against the army. Oh, that's interesting. That's a Stargate. So we'll see that Arbiter tech? Oh no, wait. Of course, it's for the courses. What am I talking about? I was too invested in the TVP from earlier still. Okay, so of course it's gonna be the High Templars with Storm here. And I was getting excited, man. I'm like, man, we're seeing Arbiters in ZVP. Where you can make Scourge and just kill them. And there's actually a Spire. So we didn't see it go up because it was thrown down afterwards. During all of that combating. But there's gonna be that Spire, so... Let's see how he wants to play the Spire, right? There's still no lurkers, and that is posing a little bit of a difficulty, but now the mutas are starting to hatch. This is a scene that's only a few mutas yet. Now, you can play this very simple. And the idea is, you kill these 2 High Templars. Or maybe these 3. The idea is basically just kill the High Templars with the mutas, and then you come in with the Hydras and just overwhelm. But Su is not really going for a super aggressive move. It might just be his defensive play, where he just threatens this at first, right? So the rock is gonna be like, oh, I don't really want to move out with the Templars before I have a bunch of goons to actually keep them safe. Now he's going into the Dragoons. But that's gonna take a moment. And during that time, what happens is that Su just gets the map control at this point. So he can throw down the 4th base. He can potentially... I actually wanted to see a hive here. He's not gonna do that. He's going into Overlord speed here. And Su will just gun down those Dragoons for now. Of course, if he can ever get the Hydras into range, that would be amazing. He's gonna kill the first High Templar here. And he still has a bunch of Hydras. No causes have been remade. He's trying to catch them with the High Templars. Oh, that High Templar, that's exposed. Oh, what? Su mismicroing there like 3 times. Oh my god, I can't believe it. He just had the worst angle there on that HD. That was the biggest rage bait, High Templar, man. Su must have been like Shival 3 times or something, because he didn't click on the High Templar correctly. He didn't move his units correctly. That was crazy. It's so weird to see such a mistake on this of like of a high level. But that is, I think, where you see the difference between someone who played Brood War basically in his childhood and was a up-and-comer in the early days, or like the late days of Brood War, the early days of his own career, and then played only StarCraft 2 for like a decade or more. And after he retired from StarCraft 2, he has been playing non-stop Brood War. Yes, I still have this friend on this guy on my friends list in StarCraft 2, and I see him every day online, and it's always in StarCraft Brood War. Every day. Non-stop grinding. And after a couple of years, I think he's been retired for at least 2 years now, it's starting to pay off. Of course, he was there back in the day as well, right? He was playing in Pro League, or at least he was on SKT already in 2009, 2010. Now Muta's coming in here. He's gonna go through and start to kill a few of those geyser drone probes, and that's important money that's gonna be missing here for the Rock, because the Protoss needs that second gas desperately, because he doesn't have a third yet. The third is a mineral only base, so he needs that main base gas, or the natural gas. If they ever lose the probes there, it just is so painful. Every single second is just a big waste, because you literally can only make zealots during that time, right? No High Templars. Oh, that's the Storm on his own zealot there, man. This guy needs to get out of that bad weather. Su is looking good behind his cruising. He has 3 hatches set up over here. His Evo chambers running rampant, another hatchery here in this base. And yeah, he has a very good setup at home. Like 3 Evo chambers at once, right? That's when you know the Zerg player has a bunch of money to spare. He's going into a Queen's Nest right now, but he's also not really denying the 4th here, coming in from the Rock. And the Protoss player, a Protoss player that can grow onto 4 bases, is scary for any Zerg. It is scary. I mean, look at this. He's getting the extra upgrades right now. He's getting the amulet for the High Templar, so every High Templar that pops is gonna be an immediate threat. Insta Storm. It's gonna be 3 storms if he stacks them to full energy and just walks around the map. Like this guy has 1 storm right now, he's gonna have 2 when he hits 200. But if he hits 250, right, well then he's gonna have 3 storms, so that's how easy math works for you guys. And that's gonna be a difficult situation for Su. Even though Su has the higher supply, he's not really pushing the issue. He has still this Mutaflock. He has so many Hydras. He's just sitting back. He's not even trying to contain, right? A contain needs constant attention. You constantly need to kind of relocate units. You need to reinforce units. You need to check your flanks. You need to actually assess the situation, and you need to be smart about how and where you reinforce a contain. So a contain is actually a lot of attention, constant attention, and something like this where he's just sitting at home and just macroing up, well, it doesn't need that much of attention, right? So he can just use these mutas and roam like crazy. The issue is, yeah, I agree here. Shibadri is saying this in chat. It becomes a really big issue if the Protoss, oh my god, kills all of the mutas with storms, for example, and can just expand and take the whole map. Like Su, as he's not really playing this as aggressive, as I said, but he's not attempting even to contain. He has a huge supply, and he's probably not gonna get broken by 1 or 2 Protoss armies, but the Protoss can just Oh my god, he kills the observer. This lurker on 2 HP, man. Yeah, what I was saying, the Protoss, he can just throw away armies eventually. Because he's gonna have that much to spare. Damn. Even the drone is not gonna make it out. So he does not get that last lurker. So it's gonna be a difficult, actually, evacuation. But there's another storm, so he will throw down the storm, clear that last lurker, and there we go. Su, in the meantime, is saying, alright, it is time. Let's send the yellow wave. Let's send it across the map. He still has a bunch of units behind, but he is trying to come in here. A bunch of links, a bunch of hydras, a bunch of lurkers coming in. No plague grinding. I haven't seen a game of plague grinding yet by Su here. And which is, of course, against a Protoss player extremely powerful. But he will break open this third base for now. The Rock needs these army units here back at home. He needs them to defend. Because this base is going to be broken. It's not the most important base. It's only the mineral base. So it's not the third gas. By now, by the way, the first gas is depleted. Oh no, it's still working. Okay, so yeah, that's actually a big deal that this is the mineral-only base and not the gas base. That's good for the Rock. He can still make a bunch of Templars, but he needs to be careful with this army coming back right now. He cannot blindly walk on top of lurkers and die. But he doesn't really have anything at home. His supply is really low, and him being so much out of position and Su just coming in with that big wave, going for the kill move basically, that's kind of crazy, but it seems to be working, and he's having such a difficult time to push through. I don't think there's a lot of observers on the map here. Where's the Robo actually? Did it already get killed? No, almost. And there's an Overseer here, so yeah, there's no way to clear these lurkers right now. Oh, he has one observer, there we go. He got one out, but if this thing dies, so dies the game. That's it, the Rock. He's just gonna lose the main. Like, he needed more defenses. He didn't have enough stuff at home. He was so aggressive on the map, he didn't have the vision across, so he didn't see when to rotate back. I mean, it's okay, you can of course, you need to punch a hole, you need to rotate your army, but you also need to have something close to the Zerg scouting for you. I mean, there's a bunch of lurkers you need to push through to get up to your main. He's gonna lose everything. He's making a cybernetics core inside the main, but he doesn't even have gateways there. He has one gate. That's his production. There's the last High Templar coming in here. He throws down a storm on these links, kills a zealot of his own. And GG's called, and the 250 energy High Templar will not be able to throw down a storm himself. And that's how Su solves math problems. He waits with his, like, 80% of his supply. That is natural. And he sees his opponent army going into one corner, and then he says, like, alright, let's send 80% of my supply and kill you, because you already have like 60 or 70% of your supplies in that bottom right corner, so I can just go ahead and kill your base. And GG. Wow, that was crazy. Su going ham there. That was a good game though. I really like that one. Su against the Rock. So we've done that. Let's do one more ZVP. It's gonna be Su against Motive. Let me pull up some information about Motive. But he's a old school player as well, if I recall correctly here. That's him. Motive. He's also still active. Okay. Let's put up the scene here, and then we've got Motive here in the top left position, and in the bottom left position it is Su, and then the center right position is kind of free. So let's talk a little bit about Motive. He's actually a really strong player right now. Even though he doesn't really play in ASL that much, he plays a few qualifiers, doesn't really get through the qualifiers. But he's playing in those amateur leagues like so much. He's grinding them like night and day, it's insane. The K-League and what they're all called. It's crazy. And he's apparently doing very well. He's getting a lot of prize money there with his teams. A lot of first places, a lot of second places, so yeah. What was that season? That's crazy. Starcast. What's this one? Oh, okay. Starcast season. SCSL. I see. He did play in that one, but yeah. So, oh, he made $30. I thought it was 3,600 for a 16th place finish, but yeah. So I wanted actually to check his old school stuff. Okay, so what? There's not too much result-wise, I guess. Let me actually see what we can find here from him. Motive. He was an old school player, yeah. So he played on KT Roadster in 2011. So he was there very late, but I know him from back in the day. Motive. But he didn't really have a big of an impact, I guess. And he did transition to StarCraft 2 for a while and played SC2 for KT. He was in that, I think, in a joint pro league with Brood War and SC2. He might not have played in that season because I think there's like a limited amount of players you can field for a team. You can't actually use all of your players. Love to see Lurkers keeping an army at bay while Zerglings ravage the base. Yeah, that was a crazy position. It's so difficult to break, especially if you don't have any observers left over. Now Su again is playing his kind of 3 hatchery style here very aggressively, of course, a very standard play for a Zerg player, and then you can just go into that Hydra Den. And you can choose to make Hydras or not. It really comes down to you. You can choose to make a bunch of Hydras and pressure the wall. You can choose to just make Hydras and try to kill your opponent. You can just choose to make drones and make more hatcheries. And just have the Hydras defensively. Like, only make a few. There's a lot of options with an early Hydralisk Den. So I'm actually a big fan of this kind of setup for the Zerg, because it just forces the Protoss to respond accordingly. And very, very intense responses as well. Like, Hydra Bust is such a strong all-in that you need so much commitment from the Protoss to actually hold that one. And if it's a misread even slightly, you'll be in the lead as a Zerg. So yeah, I really dig this opening, honestly. If I would be playing Zerg in Brood War, I'd probably play this opening every day, every game. And every time do like a little bit of a different variation, you know, against Protoss. Four Zealots now. I'm gonna pressure this base here. We do have a bunch of links. He's gonna try to surround this egg. He doesn't know what's inside, but it's only a couple links actually, so not that big of a deal. He's kind of looking for a drone or a Hydralisk Den, but of course only links. Not gonna be that much worth it. He will still have a very good trade here, but in the end he should lose most of these Zealots. I think he's gonna survive though. That was a really good trade, man. Those Zealots. Look at these two. They have 5 kills between them. And they can still get more. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh god! Now at this point this is going crazy, man. Motive is gonna be flying right now. He's cruising. Finally we see these Zealots deplete, but what a effing efficiency those guys did run on. They're basically like electronic cars. Super efficiency mode. Electronic cars with a freaking solar panel on top so they can infinitely ride if the sun is up. They did kill so many Zerglings, they forced so many units, and the drone count is so low right now, 21 to 30 at this point. Yo, MW, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, like SC2 Zealots are pansies in comparison, yeah man. Like Brood War Zealots are like the beef thing. It's like you can only compare the Ultralisk to it really. When you want to see something that's stronger and bigger and faster and harder, you know. The next thing on the scale would be the Ultralisk. A melee unit. That's always how I felt about the Zealot in Brood War. It's like a mini Ultralisk with no... I guess Brood War Ultras don't have cleave, but yeah. It's like smaller, it's probably the same speed, a little bit slower maybe than an Ultralisk. I think speed Ultras are faster than speed Zealots. I haven't checked, but I think they are. Like, if I try to remember correctly, usually if the Zerg tries to disengage from Zealots, they can with Ultras, so... yeah. Doubt we're gonna see Ultras though from Su here in this game. Hasn't really been going up that much to Tech Tree in this matchup. It's been using a lot of Spire. He's going up into a hive for upgrade purposes. But it's mostly Lurker, Hydra, Ling, very basic, no spellcasters whatsoever. But that's also kind of Su in a nutshell, right? That's how he likes to play StarCraft 2 as well. Not a lot of spellcasters, just powerful stuff. Spire has been his jam back in the day as well, so yeah. Can you please get a connect? Oh my god, no, he doesn't get it. And then we got another push of 5 Zealots. So be careful, they could kill 700 Lings, you never know. They've done it before. So this game we don't have a Hydralisk gun, if I see this correctly. I've only seen the Spire, so we should eventually see some Mutalisks. Only Scourge so far. And there's the Mutas. So they can then of course finally kill these mini Ultralisks. Get them out of the base. I think he still has not caught the Corsair yet, and I'm not even sure if he saw that there was more Corsairs being made. So Motive has 5 now. That's a pretty solid number. He's getting that air weapons even, so this Muta play, it's not gonna be good here from Su. He's just not gonna have it. Like, he needs to catch them off guard. There's the Hydralisk then. Okay, so he has one. But he needs to catch the Corsairs, basically. He needs to have a mistake happen here from Motive. Which, to be fair, is not that... it's not the most difficult thing in the world, but he's even going up to 7 Corsairs with +1. And he's hovering over his cannons, of course. He has a cannon in the main as well. So yeah, like, how could you kill so many Corsairs? Well, basically the answer is Scourge. And what did you need to do to have this happen? Well, you need to have the Scourge connect. Yeah, thank you, Captain Obvious. But you kind of need to run them into a corner, really. You need to get them cornered. And if you run over an Archon, if you run over cannons, you'll just bleed out so many Scourge that eventually, at some point, they'll just turn on you. And they'll just kill all of the air units you've accumulated. So this Ogre Zerg gamer, as some people call it, they need to hope for a mistake. But sometimes those appearing mistakes can be baits, and that's when an Archon kills 6 or 7 Scourge, and the Corsairs turn. It's 8 at this point, and then the tables turn, because now, well, he has the Hydra Den, but he doesn't have any Hydras, so how's he gonna kill that freaking Archon? Well, he doesn't. I think this game might just end here. Oh, unless he gets the good connection. Again, the Scourge, they don't connect. Finally is gonna have some for a flank here. But again, Paralyze. No, not Paralyze, Motive here. With some great Corsair movement. He loses 2 now. But he's still at 6. This is so efficient trade. He killed probably, like, I don't know, like 1k gas or something for free. Finally, Su is kind of... yeah, he's kind of chasing this now correctly here. He also has that Archon under control with the Mutas. And he did have a connection there with the Scourge. But in the end, these Corsairs, they even stack on one more Corsair here, are gonna be too tough. And look at the Mutaflock, it is so low. A couple more shots, like one more volley from these Corsairs and the Mutas it's dead. Now he gets a few good connections here. He kills a bunch of these Corsairs, like most of them have been hit once. And yeah, that was some very good Scourge hitting there. That was, of course, a little bit lucky. Like, sometimes they connect, sometimes they simply don't. Even they seem to be on the same range. And yeah, we've heard so many Scourges hit actually recently. So there was like 4 or 5 Corsairs that were killed off. And while he has been reproducing those Corsair, Now he's starting to stop doing that, actually. And yeah, oh, that's a clutch storm. Oh, he lost 1 causes somehow. I thought he was on 4. And then he had 1 more reinforced, but now he's back to 4. That was a clutch storm. Where's the High Templar? Who did that? 4 kills here. That was 4 good. That could have been 2 more causes. Or even all of them, because they are basically all low, but I guess 2 are high, but could have been 3 causes, I guess. So Su is still working with his meter flock. It's been regenning. He's just playing Meter Hydra, Meter Ling, right? There's not that many Hydras. He has a few now. He's making Overlords. He has a Spore. Now there's Meters starting to try to kill some of these Dragoons, but the Dragoons, they're kind of beefy, so it's actually difficult to snipe them with unupgraded Meters. I don't think he has upgrades, no. And he needs to be careful because he cannot run into a storm. Now taking his 4th base, Su again did not really try to deny this 3rd base from the Protoss, and this time, unless unlike the last game where he played against the Rock, it is actually a gas 3rd base. So there's gonna be the 3rd gas for the Protoss. That's all he needs is quote unquote, I guess what the Protoss world says. The Protoss needs a 3rd gas to operate against the Zerg, so he can make enough High Templars to chuck out enough storms against the Hydras. But this is a game where there's actually not that many Hydras. It's a lurker game. A lurkerling muta composition. And yeah, I kind of like this. I think this is a posturing for another base. It's gonna be that mineral only base, but he's kind of securing this behind his push. This base here in the top left from Su is not going to be taken, or not going to be saturated for a while. It's going to be difficult to move drones over there. I guess he brings a couple lurkers. He's going to start to try and get that defended. I wish there was a production. There is one, but I don't use it because I don't like it. It's Brood War games. Sometimes there's like I've done some, but that's only like a production tab is only there for replays, right? So it's not for live games. That's why I don't use it. If it's not there for live games, why would I use it in replays? Okay, but yeah, enough of that. We do see it's basically like for your own stuff, like for your own you know, own analysis. It's pretty easy. It's like really good to have a production tab if you want to check out your own mistakes and stuff. Yeah, you can kind of turn off and on everything in the Brood War interface, like this, for example. Or boom. See, I already pressed the wrong buttons. Like the minimap, like Q. You can turn off one by one the elements here. Okay, so Motive trying to push in. I guess he just wants to trade storms for lurkers. Would be the idea here. I don't think he can really break this. He needs to be careful as well. He doesn't want to bleed too many units. And there's still the Hydras, so they could come in and snipe the High Templars here. There's the extra units reinforcing for Su, but Su's supply is actually not that high. He was not really doing that much with the mutas, I feel like, and he didn't really accumulate. He didn't go fast enough into a additional base. Didn't accumulate that big of a economic lead for himself. And it feels like he might just be broken here. He has a bunch of units still coming from that north area, but the couple of good storms might just blanking that area, dealing so much damage here to these units. Now, if these Archons all finish up, there's gonna be a formidable army. He does have two of them out now. One is gonna get shut down quite easily, though. And we do see a bunch of Zealots reinforcing here from the north. The Overlords are coming to try in and blanket the area with some big-ass models to try and tank some shots from these goons. But where is the Observer Army? There is the fleet of observers. You do see 3. That's gonna last for a while, and Sue sees the same and says, alright, F my life, I am done. GG, Motive. That's how you play a PvZ. Yeah, he definitely was lacking Hydras there. And as I said, he was playing very heavily Muta, Ling, Lurker. And that doesn't really work if you don't play a Lurker contain. You kind of need to be upfront and you need to have them... Basically you force out a Storm for a Lurker, right? But you still want to have usually more Hydras with this, even with a contain. You can't play like a Lurker Ling contain with Mutas. You kind of use the Mutas how you would use Hydras. So if they come in forward with a Templar to try and storm your Lurker, right? You use the Mutas to swoop it from the side and shoot down the thing so it trades. Yeah, he might be still getting used to those Lurker ranges. But he's been playing a lot of Brood War, man, it's crazy. Okay, maybe I can squeeze in one more game here. I have to finish a little bit earlier today. So I got some family stuff going on later. I'm gonna do one more TVZ here. Let's do Lava. I want to see Lava play a game. Let's do Lava against Royal. You guys know Royal. He has some cool builds. Whoops. Okay. No, that's not the one, that's not the one. Okay, there we go. Inside the game here, in the top right we do have Royal, and in the bottom right it is Lava. By the way, have you guys seen the tournament that happened in China for StarCraft 2? I haven't seen much of it myself, it's definitely need to watch the games yet. But they had some very interesting people appearing, like Innovation and Sue playing a show match. They had like 8 people for show matches. And some of them were MMA, Innovation, Sue, SOS, Scarlet, and I'm missing 3. 3 great players. And it's just so crazy, man. Oh, DRG as well. I think MMA against DRG, Sue against Innovation, Scarlet against SOS. So I need the last pair. Missing the last pair. By the way, we have a proxied barracks here. And Lava scouting with a drone. This could be disastrous actually for Royal. He will also be in the vision of the Overlord. So let's see how this is gonna operate. Like this is weird proxy location, I have to say. It's just a tiny bit forward. You might just want to do this thing where you move across the map with like 4 Marines and you try to kill 2 drones. And then you want to run back. Used to hate him, now he like his play because he has a few very good things about him, yeah. I never really used to be a hater of him, but I didn't really have a high opinion, I guess, at first, like, oh, this is a really good player, but at this point, it's hard to argue, right? He's a strong player. I'm not exactly sure, I think it was him though. Someone busted out, I think it was him or Rush, who busted out like a, I think it was against Zerg, like a 7 SCV factory or something like that. Like the fastest factory you've ever seen. And he just goes with that Vulture and kills the Zerg. There was like a super crazy build, like Marines going across the map. The barracks was proxy, was a one-on-one map. He had like a super fast gas. Before the barracks, I think, even. And then he goes into the factory like super quick and just kills him. Yeah, I think it was Royal. I'm pretty sure it was Royal. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe like 80%. But yeah, that moment was like when I thought, oh, this actually is a really good player. Not because he knows how to cheese and he can't do it. It's just because he is someone who has a flexible mind about the game, which is 25 years old. That's what I was thinking when I saw that. It's like something no one really attempted to try, and if you kind of can go in those areas and find something new that works, that's a scary thing. That's a scary asset to have to yourself as a skill set. Double 6 Rex. Damn. For a month last year. Double 6 Rex. Yeah, look at that, man. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's super cheesy, but it just speaks of a flexible mind, in my opinion. It's really cool to see. And that's something which is so powerful in this game, where there's so much about strategy. They're coming in here with 3 Marines, trying to kill that Sunken. That's not gonna work. He won't lose a Marine though. And he won't be able to get the Vulture across that river that is being created by the Sunken tongue, I guess? I've always... This is a tongue, right? It's shooting with a tongue. You can't tell me that it's different. It's not a tentacle, it's like a tongue. They have a really long tongue and they're licking the enemies to death. Right? That's how Sunkens work. Pretty sure it's a tongue. There's still no academy. He's going into a super fast science facility and it's gonna be a Vulture drop. Okay, so... Maybe he drops the Marines. I'm not sure, man. This is a weird build again. No, he's gonna drop the Vultures, right? So he keeps the Marines in front. He's gonna delay his base super long. And he will have that dropship. He will pick up 2 Vultures here. He might run these 2 in. I don't think so. He might just posture here for a while. And when the dropship is close to this area, yeah, he's gonna move over. And he's gonna load those in. And this Overlord won't see the dropship, I don't think so. Let's check the vision. The dropship is going across this area right now. And it should pass, yeah. Without being spotted. So that's gonna be a little bit of an issue. There's nothing in the main. No. No. And he doesn't see this unload. No, he sees his unload. Okay, okay. Quick reaction lava. Let's see it. It's gonna lose 1, 2... Let's count drones. 3, 4. And then he drop micros it, and there comes the tongue. You can micro against the tongue from the Sunken, by the way, but not really against Mutaglaves. So yeah, it's lost anyways. Drop the guys. If he would have dropped earlier, he might have killed 1 more drone. But yeah, that was great though. That was really good stuff. But I think he killed 5 drones, which is insane. But he loses all of these units. He has only 6 Marines. He's making turrets right now. He has 3. He has a vessel. And he's gambling on a Irradiate. On an early Irradiate against the Mutas. The Mutas see the vessels now and they're like, oh, really, what? But there's no upgrades for the Marines. There's no Academy, excuse me. I'm always saying Armory when I want to say Academy. It's crazy. But yeah, there's no Academy yet, so there's no medics. There's no stim. There's no range. Oh, and there is the... Oh my god, and he doesn't split it. He doesn't split it fast enough. He kills one of the vessels though, and that's the early investment that Royal was trying to get behind this super crazy all-in there. Sorry, yeah, I mean, it's kind of an all-in, but that opening, I guess, from him. Evo Chamber here coming up for lava behind this, and the Hydra Den, of course, still standing strong here. Probably get a few Hydras very soon. Does he already have the lurk upgrade? No, he's just starting that up now. There we go. And he remakes the economy. Should probably think about taking another base. He knows there's not really a lot of units from his opponent, so Oh, lava! So, luckily for him, it was not one of the healthiest meters that got tagged there by the irradiate, but he only has 3 meters, so... Both players playing the super unit light here, no big armies. It's very technical units and compositions from both. But there we go, Lava finally thinking about the third base here. He still has the map control, even with 3 mutas. It's still map control for him. Because we only have 8 marines and they have no upgrades whatsoever. There's finally the academy and stim going on, there's +1 coming in, but if the Terran, for example, moves out right now, right? Finally gets the medic, but if he moves out with these 8 marines and the 1 medic, you can still kill them with 3 mutas, you just need to micro this correctly. They don't have range, they don't have stim, so they can't even counter micro to your muta micro. You could kill 8 marines just like that. It would take a little while, but it wouldn't be a problem. The problem is gonna be... Okay, so he abandons the idea of a third base for now. He moves away the drone and he will play this 2 base style for a little bit longer. Immediately... Oh my god. That was a terrible engage there. I think he might have mistimed that a tiny bit. They just had stim in the perfect moment. We do see 6 lurker acts on the way here. Trying to establish a defense, but they actually very slow here. Uh-oh. You could just ignore them. Oh, he doesn't move in? The timing. He doesn't know that, of course, but he could have ignored those. So he is going for the safe play. He waits until they hatch and then he just starts to irradiate them. But that also means that the potential for instant damage is gone, so he needs to move back with the army. He keeps 1 marine on the scouting pattern. You kind of want to start this base eventually, or the marine is going to kill the drone. Lava's going to be in a little bit of peril if this keeps on going here. He will try to go aggressive with a bunch of lurkers and a few links through an alternative route here. He's gonna go that right lane, where in the center lane we do have a Terran pair posturing right now here. The Royal, can he get away with these vessels? He keeps 3 of them alive, that should be good enough, only to lose 1. I like that trade for him. The second base, oh, that's actually slower than I thought. I guess you don't need the third that fast if the natural from the Terran is after 11 minutes. Your third can be after 12 minutes as well. Where's the lurker? Oh, there. There's 3, so he's only gonna kill 1. "39 SCVs on 1 base. It's a lot of units to transfer. He's getting into that second starport finally, so the double vessel. Oh, he went with the eraser and I just missed it, I'm so sorry, but he killed a bunch of drones. Oh god, that's a lot of drones. There's so many drones. He has a defiler even? No, the defiler starts to kill links. Oh, he killed so many workers right now. He killed 10 workers or something. Maybe even more. There was like 30 drones to 39 SCVs or 29 drones or something. It was like a 10 worker difference, and now it's almost 25. Royal, of course, starting to produce additional SCVs here from the extra base. And the second base, that's all he needed. Now I guess now he is gone up to his a good barracks count, a good production count, so he needs to actually start immediately think about a new base, because this has only 300 minerals left on some of those patches, so the base is gonna run out very fast and he simply can't keep up the production if he doesn't go into a third base soon for himself. Like all of the production facilities he has ready, he can't produce one. Doesn't he have that frickin' consume? Can you please eat this defiler with a different defiler, man? Make use of it. It just dies. A round of fire bats here. +2 already on the damage. No armor upgrades on this Marine since he only was operating on 1 NG bay, but he had that science facility very fast, so for the science vessels. So you could immediately go up into +2 here. And finally we do see some Dark Swarm action here from Lava. He's gonna be very happy with that. But he needs to think about his 3rd base soon. He's starting to mine out as well in the main base, so yeah. He's getting chased by this army from the Terran. I don't think he has Plague yet, but that would be a nice Plague target. You need something though to finish it off, like a Hydra Dan, or like a Hydra or a Muta or something. As I said, Royal needed to take his 3rd base very fast, and he's indeed starting to try and establish that one, but he has a Defiler in his natural now. Oh, he uses a Plague, okay. Okay. You need to get that Dark Swarm going. He's throwing down 1 Dark Swarm. No, he plagues the vessels, okay, so he doesn't throw down Dark Swarm. He loses all of his units, I guess it makes sense. There was so many irradiates, and he plagues most of the vessels. So the vessels, I guess, most 3. So 3 are gonna be a 1-shot. He's only bringing Scourge though, so I'm not sure. So those irradiates were super quick. He was so fast to clone those. There we go, finally Hydras move in. Gonna kill 1 more of these science vessels. There's 1 more super low one, but that's not a 1-click. So it didn't get plagued, it just took a lot of damage over the course of the game. Probably got hit by 1 Scourge and then a few other things. There we go, Royal did establish his 3rd base. He still has the Medivac Firebat barbecue team sitting over there with 1 Marine to shoot a deer if they need one. He has a bunch of medics here. Those guys, those are basic, they came in pairs. And now he's posturing in front of that natural from Lava, and Lava didn't go up to a 3rd base while he had that map control, and now he's basically contained. I don't think you can break out of this, and he's still only using plagues. Trying to plague grind this down, but he's eating so much damage on those Defilers, always getting irradiated instantly. And honestly, I feel like that irradiate style, right, the SKT and why... Oh, restoration! Oh man, he has it. He went into restoration, he cures his vessels, so these 2 actually still keep very high health. This one also stays away from being a 1-tap. Wow, that's insane. That's insane, man. I wish this would have been like an actual tournament game. I want to see restoration tournament game. But yeah, so against SKT, Dark Swarm is just stronger than Plague. While Plague can be stronger situationally, why Dark Swarm usually is better is because it buys more time. And if you can't have the map control and you need to have time to kind of get up a 3rd base and buy time for it to finish, well then Dark Swarms are just gonna be superb. Superior, I guess, not superb. Oh, there's the barbecue team. They lost 2 medics though. I guess some of them stayed behind here, have a party themselves over here. The Marine was dancing down to the tank for a moment. Zerg pushing in that north corner here, Lava, but he's very exposed at home. He does have a Defiler, he's gonna eat a Zergling and he's gonna throw down his Dark Swarm, but there is a Firebat, so he will kill instantly. He's unkillable under there. There's no Ling to contest him, and now he gets healed up. Ah, and he stims. He has +3. Hey, this guy he's raining death from in front. Oh, he's about to die. Ah, he went from anywhere but the Dark Swamp. So now, yeah, you see the end of lava here in a moment. With Corporal Firebird and his barbecue team. The original barbecue team is still over here. They have like, found like a small place and they have some game to hunt there. But man, Lava is playing this out to the last second. He wants to do greatness with his 4 lurkers here. This evolution chamber getting sniped. There should be... He has 8 drones. There should be the hive go down as well with this push. So he does actually kill this? He does actually kill this bio, but I mean, we still have so much bio scattered around the map. And all of the aggressive units have been killed as well. He has 8 drones. 8. And he's still playing. He has his hatch finished up, but he's not gonna use it. I can guarantee you that. Is he making drones? No, he's making Scourge, of course. Why? Drones can't fight, right? But that's basically all he has. This army, that's gonna be it. There's no more income really. Try to kill these tanks. He will clear a bunch of the Terran forces here. Oh, this is such a cool position here. If the SCV would have been on that end and the 2 Marines inside here, that would have even been cooler. But there's gonna be the GG. Lava is gonna get repelled and he will not take this game. GG is gonna be called. And thank you everybody for watching. I hope you had a good time. That's gonna be it for today. As I said, it's gonna be a short day. And need to do some other things. That was Lava against Royal. That was a fun one actually. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and we'll see each other again tomorrow. But tomorrow we do have a thing going on from Autosis here. So I won't be streaming. I'll just produce the clean feed as I usually do. I'm gonna show some of the new age Stormgate. They have a new patch. I think it's still on the PDR, but it looks actually really good. They have like 20 more maps and way different layouts this time. Those are like maps created by the community, so they look a lot like maps in StarCraft 2. So yeah. That's gonna be tomorrow, and then the day after I have to go to the doctor, so I actually don't have that many days to stream this week, unfortunately. And then I got work on Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, so yeah. I guess good things have to come to an end, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see each other again next week at the same time. And then there's gonna be a couple of days next week, so yeah. See you guys again. Peace. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.